Like, come on, man, you can just like hit me as hard as you can, man. Like, I don't care. Like, they were like really, really like tough guys. Well, it was quite funny. We didn't have too much rehearsals. What we were trying and going for was this kind of, that it shouldn't feel too choreographed, that it was this kind of raw, coming out of nowhere. It was a really stressful day, to be honest with you, because you know, like so many shooting days are, it was just like we were running out of time and really going for it. You know, a couple of bruises and a lot of mud. we were okay. Yeah, the two guys who I beat up are actually like MMA fighters down in Atlanta, or sorry, in Alabama. So they were like, yeah, like, come on, man, you can just like hit me as hard as you can, man. Like, I don't care. Like, they were like really, really like tough guys. And I was like, oh, okay, well, I guess, you know, they get beat up for a living and beat other people up for a living as well. Willard, as the character, he kind of bottles everything up, you know, and this is the moment where everything that's in him kind of explodes. So it was an important scene in terms of explaining the character, I thought, as well. I didn't have any scenes with Tom, but we hung out quite a bit beforehand. And in terms of him being Spider-Man and of it all, it doesn't do very much for me. It's a weird thing in terms of the characters in the movie, right? Because obviously young Arvin, young Tom Holland, I have a lot of scenes with, and so much of the movie is their relationship, Arvin and his father, Willard. So that was kind of important for me, that, you know, I did get to spend some time with Tom, and we kind of talked through, and we actually did read through all the scenes. So like, he read Little Arvin and I read, you know, Willard. So we kind of, at least we read those words out, that of course that these things did happen to him, even though he was younger. I guess Spider-Man, right? I mean, I feel like Tom would fare maybe not as well as the other ones in terms of like Pennywise's taste and liking them very young, I guess. Yeah, sure. I mean, if it's fun and interesting, you know, like, I know that the superhero world and the superhero movies have kind of hijacked the theaters in the past, you know, 5 or 10 years or so, and they're amazing event movies, and they're fun, they're really enjoyable. I don't know in what capacity I would fit into it all, but if there is something for me in it, you know, call me. The PTSD of it all is especially in America, but also elsewhere in the world, how we treat soldiers coming back from the war, I think is something that's should be talked about even more. You know, we kind of advertise for these people to go out and do all of this. Not we, but the government is, and not taking care of the people that come back is, I think, just an awful thing. But in mental health in general, I mean, yeah, like, suicide rates are just increasing, and like, it's a thing, man. Like, I don't, you know, I always think that the more depressed people in a society is becoming, and eventually, you know, if it's ending in suicide, something is fundamentally wrong with the culture itself. So I think it's a big problem, and I don't think it's going to go away anytime soon. So we should talk about it and examine it and understand why, and maybe change the way we live or the way we see things, so we can all be better. Andy Muschietti, the director, obviously, and I, we had kind of, when we were finishing up the second one, we kind of loosely talked about what the third one would look like. There's no concrete talks of it at all, so we'll see. And maybe if we feel like the urge to do something and do something different with it all, you know, maybe there's a way. But as of now, no.